Hi Course 2, just want to take a couple of minutes to go through the answers for the Mod 4 Topic 1 Summative Assessment. For question number 1, you needed to use a spinner to answer questions A through D. For letter A, the outcomes were 1, 2, 3, and 4. The sample space was also 1, 2, 3, and 4 if you look at the spinner. For letter C, the event that you may have picked might have been different than the sample answer that I have here of landing on an even number. That event then that you picked would affect the probability. For this particular sample answer, the probability of landing on an even number would be 2 out of 4 or 1 out of 2. Again, if you picked a different event, as long as that event matched up with your probability, then you would be fine. If we move on to question number 2, a bag of marbles, we have 3 red, 2 green, and 5 blue. The sample space is going to be red, green, and blue for part A. And then for part B, if we look at the probability for the 3 events, red is going to be 3 out of 10, green 2 out of 10, or if you simplified, 1 out of 5, and blue 5 out of 10, or 1 out of 2. For part C, we are calculating the sum of the probabilities for the 3 events. Is this the sum you expected, and explain your reasoning? The sum is going to be 1 whole. 3/10 plus 2/10 plus 5/10 is going to be equal to 1 whole, and we should expect the sum to be 1 because this is the sum of the probabilities of all 3 of the possible outcomes. For letter D, or part D, we are using proportional reasoning to predict the number of marbles if we draw from the bag 50 times. I showed the work over here on this side for the red, green, and blue marbles in order to determine that the number of marbles for red would be 15, green would be 10, and blue would be 25. For part E, we needed to complete the table and write the probabilities as fractions. So if we look first at the total number of red, 15, green 9, and blue 26, the sum of those totals is going to give us the 50 times that we drew a marble from the bag. The probability then for red would be 15 out of 50 or 3 out of 10, green 9 out of 50, and blue 26 out of 50 or 13 out of 25. For part F, we needed to compare the experimental probabilities with the prediction from part B. What did we notice and why did this happen? The experimental probabilities and the predicted probabilities are a little different. The results will not be the same every time the experiment is performed and will not usually be exactly the same as the predictions. If we do remember from lesson 4, one of the big takeaways was that the experimental probability of an event when it approaches the theoretical probability when the number of trials is going to increase. If we take a look at number 3, a bag of marbles has 4 red, 5 yellow, 2 green, and 7 blue. You had to drag and drop the colors of the marbles to show the likelihood of picking each color. So for green, we are going to have 2 out of 18, red 4 out of 18, yellow 5 out of 18, and blue 7 out of 18. And the intervals on the number line should have helped you come up with the likelihood of picking each color of marble. Lastly, for number 4, this was supposed to be your new and unique problem. The question was changed as far as the type of simulation that I wanted to assess you on. So everyone is going to be exempt from this problem. In lesson 4, we skipped a simulation in using random number tables. I wanted to have a problem on here with a hamburger and hot dog and flipping a coin and simulations that you were used to doing, but since the format of the test was changed, everyone is going to be exempt from this problem, so it's basically like it did not exist. You still can earn a 4 if you got the rest of the answers on the summative correct, so I will make sure the next summative that we have that I have the correct new and unique problem on there for you to complete. This is going to conclude the review for the Mod 4 Topic 1 summative. If you have any questions, please make sure that you contact me if you would like to discuss any of these questions further. Thanks for listening.